coming to Marske is never an easy task, is it? You must be pleased with that performance.
Delighted, and you touched on that. It's a really, really hard place to come to. They're a big side, they're a physical side. They don't lose a lot of games at home. The pitch isn't great. But you've got to come in, you've got to deal with it. And I said to the lads, it's not always going to be Broadhurst Park, but there's a mentality there, there's a strong mentality that, we're on our travels and we can win games of football, but it was hard work. That was really hard work, 90 minutes, and we had to withstand a bit of pressure, especially in the second half. But I just thought that, to a man, we were excellent today.
Yeah, I mean, for the first 15 minutes, to be fair, Marske weren't shy about both getting that ball in quick, getting it forward. To be frank, it looked like we were just adjusting to the conditions for the first 15 minutes.
We did, and we said just sit in there, don't go chasing the game for 15. They're going to come and have a go, get accustomed to the pitch, acclimatised to the pitch, get used to it. But I knew that if we stayed with our shape, they'd struggle to break us down. They did, and then I said when the game opens up and you feel a bit comfortable on your feet, then we can start playing. And I thought some of the football on, the poor pitch, in my opinion, was really good. The goal, the movement from Gribbin and Linney in the first half when we nearly scored. Some of the patterns in the second half was good, and just said to the lads, just keep doing it. That's what we are, we're a footballing side, and we'll just keep trying to play. Yeah,
I mean, you just mentioned the sort of first shot. I mean, it was a good save from the goalkeeper to push it out for a corner because it was going bottom right.
Yeah, and that's what Cal's got. He sees things that other people don't see. He's a wonderful talent. And some days, it's not a winger's pitch. And today's not a winger's pitch. But I thought everyone tried to make it happen. They were comfortable on the ball, and they stuck in there and they kept to the game plan. And we've got to keeping to the game plan. And some days it won't work, but we don't change our philosophy or our style of play. And we didn't today, and we've got another win. And we'll put this one to bed now, and we'll move on to Tuesday night.
Yeah, I mean, you and I were in a conversation earlier this season, and it's fair to say, I said we'll never or rarely get outplayed, but we will get outfought. And I think today we showed that we can keep fighting. They're a big physical side, playing to the conditions.
Halsey and CJ were immense today. Two young full-backs who know what it's like to keep a clean sheet. Stanway in behind, who was so athletic and quick off his line. We lost Vincent early on, but Ennis and Potsy just masterminded it. And then the top end of the pitch, they just kept running. Regan kept stretching him, Mullers kept joining in with play, and then you got Gribbs, and obviously when we made the change. We were really good and just really pleased with everyone, and coming off there, just seeing what it means to the lads to win a game of football, and if I can help instill that into them, then we're really happy.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing worse. I mean, this is a long old journey, basically. There's nothing worse being on a quiet coach, is there?
No, but the lads know now. They know we've got that little bit of momentum that they can't go silly. We've got a big game in 72 hours. We've got some tired bodies in there. So that they can have a pint afterwards, and then we've got to get ready. We'll have a team meeting, a Zoom call, whatever it'll be. Go through a few things on Monday, and then get ready for a tough game at Guiseley on Tuesday.
We were talking about as well Thursday about sort of squad depth. You mentioned we lost Vincent. I spoke to him during the second half, and he said I think it's a recurrence of his calf, which has been plaguing him since he joined us.
It's a tough one. He's really gutty with it. We're hoping it's just fatigue, but we'll have to wait and see how it settles down. But then young Tabonga, you talk about a positive attitude. He's been around the club for as long time as the Grucci has now, and hasn't played a lot of minutes. If all, he's been out of the squad, but he wanted to extend his stay. He wanted to stay. He knew what we were doing, and he come on today, was excellent. Scored his goal. I think he's going to be a fan's favourite. So we've got the option of Ennis, got it of Potts. We've got Griffiths coming back, Donishew coming back. So, but it's football. We're going to keep getting injuries. We're going to keep getting suspensions. It's going to happen at at every game or every level, and we just got to make sure that the depth of the squad is correct. And in a minute, it's okay. It's okay. We obviously always would like to bring in one or two more players, but you don't want to disrupt what's happening at the minute. And there's a real confidence in that dressing room. So it is nice to bring in somebody, but we'll bring in the right person when we can.
Okay. Obviously, Jan Plankas came on towards the end of the game. That's essentially, I guess, as a third centre half or a central defender.
Deep line midfielder. We didn't need to play a 10. Potts and Ennis just went alongside him, and I thought it was important to bring him on at the corner because of his height. He's been unlucky, because he's a great player, but again he's bought into it, and he's got youth on his side, and he'll be around a long time hopefully, and he's learning from them too. But he'll play games, he'll play games. Curtis Jones has been immense. He's missed out though yet this season already, but between the three of them they'll play a lot of games. But it's good when you can turn. You've got like an animal, an old-fashioned centre half, centre mid in Jan, and goes and heads and kicks things, and that's what you want. So I was happy. But listen, the lads who haven't got minutes, we've got the Manchester Cup game coming up, Stalybridge 2 weeks today. People are going to get minutes, and I just encourage people to be patient. And then we've got the Phoenix Trophy games as well. So over the course of the season, people get minutes. You know, it was nice to bring Dante Gabidon back in today, but we're all happy. You know, the dressing room is really happy. And they're all behind each other. So you know, let them fight it out for themselves. And as a manager, it's not easy, but it's easier to pick a team when you're winning games instead of losing games.
Speaking of losing, obviously we lost Will Russ sort of quite late on in the week. We were having a conversation on Thursday and you were looking to replace him. Did you get anywhere with that?
We haven't. You know, we're in talks with one who may have just left us, who may come back. We're not sure yet. May have to chat to his agent. We have possibly got another left-sided player that we're looking at this week, but we are looking to support the top line. You know, for as good as Linny is, and he's as immense, he run him ragged today. You know, you don't want to wait for that injury. You want to have something in behind that can, if anything did happen to Reg, then somebody's already ready to go in there. So we're always looking, but I've always said it's got to be the right character, the right DNA of the player. You know, who's going to buy into what we achieve, and you know, you're not coming here for finances. You're coming here for more than that. You're coming here for the fans and the ground and the facilities and the badge. And you know, once we find that player, then we'll bring him in.
Okay, well, might not happen before Tuesday, but good way to go into the next away game on the back of a win.
Yeah, brilliant. And just want to say thanks to everyone listening back at home. Everyone came today, and you know, if you weren't here, I just said to the radio, try and get yourselves down to Guys on Tuesday. You know, the lads love the fans and the noise that comes with it. And who knows, if we get some points on Tuesday, we go into the home game against Lancaster. But long way off that. You know, we've got to put this one to bed. We keep saying that it's gone now. We can't affect it now. We've got the points, and we'll move on to Guys on Tuesday.